Why is the shopping cart always in the top right of the screen?
How do companies predict my purchases?
Why do prices end in 9?
Why do fast food companies use red and yellow in their logos?
Why do restaurants always have one expensive menu item?
Researchers, marketers, and very curious people seek the answers for how we make decisions and how we choose products. Clicksuasion finds the secrets that companies use and shares them with you.
Why do I feel better when I bought the last remaining airline ticket?
How do I make choices based on colors and fonts?
Welcome back to the Clicksuasion podcast. This is Katana Lemelin in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Today we are recapping some of our previous episodes covering behavioral constructs such as the importance of time, money management, life-work balance, and consumer marketing trends for 2021. Listen as we discuss the research from guest speakers such as Dan Pink, Dan Ariely, Michael Barbera, and Crystal Suetterlin. Let's jump in. Our first podcast recap is The Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing, where Dan Pink and Michael Barbera discuss the importance of timing, the methodology behind it, and the extensive body of supportive research. Everyone knows, or hopefully most people know, that timing is everything. But we don't know much about the details. When's the best time to make an appointment, to schedule a class, or to answer emails? For example, time of day affects levels of performance. You may find that you are better at answering emails or analytical data in the morning. Chronobiology, the study of our daily rhythms, suggests whether you are an early bird, night owl, or somewhere in between, will determine the hours you may work more efficiently. Dan talked about the relationship between school start times and adolescence. Pediatricians recommended starting school for middle schoolers and older no earlier than 8:30 a.m. Research shows pushing back start times reduces dropouts, decreases depression, and increases test scores. If you'd like to hear more from Dan about timing, listen to the podcast at clicksuasion.com/listen. Our second podcast recap is Dollars and Cents, where Dan Ariely and Michael Barbera discussed common financial mistakes and how we can live in a better way to account for our longer lifespans. Thinking about money doesn't necessarily equate to making better money decisions. Many technologies are designed to reduce the pain of paying. Think of Disney's magic bands. You don't think of paying while you're at the park, you get the bill at the end of your stay. This can be nice because you don't have to feel guilty about spending the money, but it can also increase your spending and reduce savings. Pain of paying is, or maybe, useful to curb spending as a day-to-day habit. However, painless spending may create a better experience, such as on vacation at Disney. Dan explains how saving doesn't mean you can't enjoy experiences. However, you determine whether you want shorter lasting happiness from instant satisfaction, such as with a new Keurig, or a longer lasting happiness from an experience, such as your next vacation. If you'd like to hear more from Dan about timing, listen to the podcast at clicksuasion.com/listen. Our third recap is Work is the New Sex, where Michael Barbera discussed the results of a recent study testing why people are answering emails away from the office and how that affects employers, employees, and consumers. Life-work balance is currently not the norm in America. However, research shows that it's moving in a positive trend. The majority of for-profit employees sleep with their career. I know I'm guilty of answering my emails at all hours. Mike explained how we see a trend of people being connected to work outside the office. Nearly 3/4 of employed adults say they work in their off time by choice. 56% of these adults say working outside office hours makes their workload more manageable. This is most prevalent in B2B businesses. They are more likely to answer emails on vacation due to a fear of missing out, a fear of not being relevant, and a fear of losing their employment. However, I did mention that this is moving in a positive life-work balance trend. From the research, what we found is that 0%, which yes, that's a percent, of people in academia answered their emails over the weekend. This is great news and shows that this trend is moving in a positive direction. To hear more from Mike about life-work balance, listen to the podcast at clicksuasion.com/listen. Our fourth podcast recap, Pricing Strategies with Crystal Suetterlin. She shared 6 pricing strategies, such as competitive pricing and value-based pricing. With an effective behavioral pricing strategy, you change the perceptions of your pricing while conveying the value of your products or services. Competition-based pricing relies solely on market and public information, not customer value. This assumes that businesses already in the market have the answer and bases their pricing off of what already exists. Too low compared to your competitors, and you undersell and undervalue your services. Too high, and you lose consumers to competitors. Pricing may require data and attention. This is a good strategy for some businesses, but maybe you should not use this as a central strategy because there are too many variables. More market analysis is preferable. Crystal shared that the goal of value-based pricing is to discover how much your customers are willing to pay for your products, so you may maximize revenue by charging the exact amount someone is willing to pay. Identifying the buyer persona or target audience is the first step. Define who you are, what they want, or what your audience wants, and where they'll be. This pricing process requires data and analysis in order to ensure you are offering relevant products and services compared to what your customers are looking for. Pricing is a process, with customer perceptions and values constantly evolving. Which strategy works best for you is determined by your business, industry, goals, and more. Whichever strategy you apply, conduct research on your market based with objective decisions. Crystal leaves us with the message to prepare to evolve and refine your strategies as needed. If you'd like to hear more from Crystal about pricing strategies, listen to the podcast at clicksuasion.com/listen. Our final recap is 6 marketing trends for 2021 with Michael Barbera, where he discussed the likely changes in consumer behavior as we wade into the 2021 year and beyond. Home is where quarantine was, and in some cases still is. COVID has most likely shifted us into home-centric mindsets, where security and comfort are key consumer focuses. We may create a positive brand experience using message framing focused on providing security. Mike also covered hybrid behaviors, where the consumer journey has both digital and in-person communication, creating a combination of touchpoints to better reach our target audience. Mike discussed these 2 trends plus 4 others to watch as we continue into 2021, focusing on what we found, what it means, and what we can do about it. These trends will continue to adapt as COVID restrictions continue to lift, but will more than likely stay relevant to our consumer engagement and relations. If you'd like to hear more from Mike about marketing trends, listen to the podcast at www.clicksuasion.com/listen. We've covered 5 of Clicksuasion's top podcasts, covering topics such as money management, the importance of time, life-work balance, pricing strategies, and consumer marketing trends to watch for 2021 and beyond. Guest speakers such as Dan Ariely, Michael Barbera, Crystal Suetterlin, and Dan Pink. With that, I appreciate your attention and look forward to seeing your continued success. This is Katana Lemelin at Clicksuasion Labs.
Thanks for listening to Clicksuasion. Subscribe to the podcast, read our research, and get in touch with us at clicksuasion.com. You can also find us on Twitter with the handle @Clicksuasion.